doesn't know it. What is it? I don't know. Nice riddle. Can you briefly talk about a nation that you find interesting that is not around anymore? Oh, that's a good one. Rhodesia, although it's changed its name, but it's hard to think about. I like learning about the different Muslim caliphates. So the Abbasids would be one of those ones that engineered the Islamic Golden Age that I would definitely find to be fascinating. They were not only great conquerors, but they solidified the Islamic stronghold over the Middle East and North Africa, while encouraging mounds of learning, art, philosophy, architecture, and Islam was probably at its most culturally and artistically creative moments during the Abbasid Caliphate that doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, let me see here. Thank you for joining us from the British Columbia. Thank you, John. I really appreciate that. I cover Canada. I cover UFO stuff, all of that stuff. I cover everything that has historical weight and measures. And believe me, UFOs have historical weight and measures. You know who I am? Interesting, Levon. Reveal me. Yes, I love the Iroquois Confederacy. One of the first real American republic. 5 different parts of the Iroquois Nation. We best know them as the Mohawk Indians, who created the Mohawk, and were known for throwing their tomahawks semicircular. But it was a bunch of different groups. And thank you so much for that donation. I really appreciate that. I'm being as quick as I possibly can, and we are at 8,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. And Marquez is asking, do you believe there were tribes of giants in North America? Most explorers wrote about them, and most Native Americans did too. What I find fascinating about that is whether it's the Nephilim in Scripture, the Anunnaki in the Mesopotamian society, or the tales of different giants and shapeshifters throughout different societies and areas, there definitely seems to be this group of giants, of large people of some variety or strain, who have been testified all throughout human history in all different cultures and mythologies. There's not really a huge amount of historical records that they exist, but the conspiracy and the idea is that they are connected with the buildings of the megaliths like Baalbek, or some of the pyramids in China, South America, or of course the Pyramid of Giza. So obviously there's something to be said there. Human beings have this natural inclination to believe in a religion, to believe in something, in some sort of higher power, but also to believe in giants and what the Bible calls the mighty men of renown. So Marcus, there might have been something to that, because it's just all over the place. The Native Americans spoke about it. There's stories of these giant figures occurring in Europe and in the Near East. So there's something to it. Thank you for asking that. Thank you for your donation. I really appreciate it. And if you want your question answered a little more quickly, there's one way to do it. I have done a lot of studies of political science. And yes, 8,000 subscribers, and you can become part of the Friendly Neighborhood History channel by liking and subscribing. Thank you for supporting us from South Africa. We got South Africa in the house. We got Denmark. We got Canada. We've got, what else? Great Britain. 2 of my wonderful moderators are from Great Britain. Yes, thank you, Ginger. I'm so glad to see you again. You always have such great stuff to say. Yes, the Murdoch and Koch brothers, those are definitely ones. Rupert Murdoch basically creating right-wing news media with Fox News and inspiring others like Breitbart and the like. And the Koch brothers, obviously right-wing think tanks, definitely. Did the Umayyads and other Muslim empires force the Christians to be Muslims when they conquered the Iberian Peninsula? No, they did not. They implanted the jizya tax on them, but they also would sometimes draft them into the army. It wasn't like it was perfect religious tolerance, but Al-Andalus was more tolerant in the time of the Umayyads than it was in the time of the Christians in the late 15th century. So yes, we are on our way towards 10,000. My hope is to get by 10,000 by the end of the summer. So we will see here. If we continue to have such great videos and such great people like you joining us for our live streams, we'll get there. So thank you. Thank you, RF. I appreciate that. It's one of my favorite things. It's what I always wear here, and it's not too hot to wear it. The summer might get kind of intense, so we'll see as I take a sip from my tea. What governmental strategic mistake do you think is the most thematic throughout history? Totalitarian authoritarianism. Government overreach has always worried the masses, whether it's a monarch with like King John Lackland having to give up his political power with the Magna Carta, the Russian czars and neo-absolutism, or worries or authoritarianism in Italy and Germany during the Third World War. Yes, I said third, not second. Very good, Harry. If I had more time, I might have been able to think about it, but I'm not good at riddles. Hopefully I've taught you something, RF, since then. And this is a history channel. LAX Airport's Amtrak taxes, U-Hauls. I call the police department. I dislike being kidnapped.